Oh yeah, we never got to where your theological positions are now.
Oh, right. Yeah, lately I've been oops, that's the wrong PowerPoint. Lately I've been in somewhat of a weird position because typically I've kind of been of the school where it's like I would say I was a theistic evolutionist with certainty until about 2 or 3 years ago. And since then I've been kind of in the middle, kind of wavering between um, sort of a deistic, almost agnostic position, and still into theistic evolution. My problems come from figuring out for myself precisely why, if we're taking the theistic evolution route, why Christianity over every other religion, and is there actually evidence to support it? I don't know.
It's not necessarily that. Various faiths and beliefs have some truth to them, I would say.
Oh, yeah, yes, precisely, and especially when it comes
Oh,
to.
okay, guess what? Hey, nice deist power over here.
Oh, are you a deist?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's. I don't know. I mean, I think the situation is you get into a lot of kind of weird philosophical metaphysics where it's like, okay, well, what comes before nothing? And it's like, well, there doesn't necessarily have to be something before nothing. Time isn't a thing until it is. And as someone who's involved fairly deeply in the sciences, my brain starts to fall apart when you're like, we don't know, and I think that it is sort of a God of the gaps fallacy that kind of keeps my theistic evolutionist side going.
Fun fact, the God of the Gaps accusation was conceptualized by Christians as a warning against other Christians not to argue that way.
Oh, really? I actually didn't know that.
Well, I mean, what's funny is that God of the Gaps, or like I would also say, argument from silence. I think it's a variation of the argument from silence. It's only really a fallacy, I believe, if you're using it deductively, in order to posit something, like as a proof. However, like with an argument from silence, to be more correct, is like it's only a fallacy if you're not explaining, like, why would we expect that silence? It's like,
right.
If you can correctly explain why the silence matters, then it's not a fallacy.
Right.
Like,
right.
I like to give this example. If I said that there was an elephant in my backyard and it was it tore up my entire house, if you came to my house and you found that my house was in perfect shape, there was no tracks, and it doesn't look, and like no one could ever testify that there was an elephant actually in there. You pointing out that, well, we would expect, if the elephant was in your backyard, we would expect something. And the fact that we don't have something is good evidence that it wasn't not there.
Yeah.
So long story short, you're an agnostic deist.
So I would say that would define my position currently, yes. And I think the main reason for that has to do with just, I started to kind of take some time, and this is terrible, but it kind of read the Bible, I guess, and like look into some of the, to read some of the kind of actual literature behind that, specifically behind like what actual scholars say. Because you got guys like Ken Hovind that think that it's like you can read the King James Version and get the gist of it. Well, not really. It wasn't written in English, I mean, I think that there's a really cool theistic evolutionist author out there that put it quite well. His name is
Sagart.
No, Sagart's cool. He's awesome. I like that guy. But John Walton? Yes?
Yeah.
I love him too as well. Like, he was actually on one of my favorite like YouTubers inspiring philosophy.
Oh, yeah.
He was actually on there. I like him as well because he points out like how you can actually read Genesis in a functional sense.
And it makes sense is the interesting thing. So and so at that point I was reading John Walton and I was like, this makes sense. I can get behind this. This works with the reality that I live in. Because a lot of Christians, I guess, will accuse you of, if you're and this is if you're taking not a deistic side, but more specifically with Christianity, a lot of people will accuse you of sort of compromising, which is stupid. But it's like the fact of the matter is if
Just
the book
follow the evidence.
Yeah, if the book contradicts the reality that you live in many places, then either it's wrong or you're interpreting it wrong.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
here's the fun.
Both.
There's a